Jaime Black here in the basement of Reggie's in the South Loop in Chicago, here with Rockie Fresh, man of the moment, man of the hour. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing real good, man. Thanks a lot for coming once again.
Absolutely. We're here. It's your big night, doing the release event for your new mixtape, The Otherside, which just dropped a couple weeks ago. How are you feeling, man?
I'm feeling real good, man. I'm excited to see people, really accept what I'm doing and really be receptive and even just give my music a chance, you know what I'm saying? That's all you can really ask for, and it's a plus that people actually like it, so it's a real good feeling.
I think people more than like it, and I want to kind of talk about the reaction to the mixtape in a minute, but first I wanted to kind of get some background on it. Like, how long have you been working on some of these songs, and how long has this project kind of been in the works?
This project has been in the works for about a year. I recorded the first records for it, I'd say in about March, and it was just, a building process from there. Finally came out in December. I actually finished it, I'd say, like the first week of December, so it was a long time coming, but, it was worth it.
It's so obvious I got it. Man, I gotta be the one. I'm making it my business, but it used to be for fun. And no, I'm not a Catholic, but I'm doing it like none. It all started with a dream, and now look what I've become.
Did you always have it in your mind that you're going to release this big kind of cohesive effort at the end of the year?
I always had this planned out in my mind. Like, my thing is, like you really have to plan to have success. And so, like, I really planned it out. I didn't plan for it to be received like this, but I definitely planned out the release. We knew that we were going to release it in the wintertime, and, we just wanted to give it some time to breathe, kind of see what some of my competition was doing, all types of things like that. So I always had that plan in mind.
So this is really kind of the talk of the hip-hop mixtape community, it seems like, at the moment,
that felt really good. Actually, believe it or not, a lot of projects did come out like right around the same time as mine, and just to know that people still, found it hard to download my music, that's what contributed to such a good feeling, to know that despite all of the mixtapes that came out, people were able to still show love for my situation. So it was great, man.
And this is some pretty personal stuff that you're putting out there. It's a very personal, kind of intimate listen. It doesn't just feel like this big, padded, impersonal, typical hip-hop effort. Was that kind of daunting, or is that just kind of like the only way you know how to do it?
Well, it's definitely not like necessarily the only way that I know how to do it, but it's more so, like a lot of rappers say they do this for the people, and that's really my thing. I really want people to feel comfortable listening to my music. I feel like as rappers, we often, put out a lifestyle that's almost not tangible, you know what I'm saying? And it's people that go through common stuff day to day that need to be talked to, that want to be related to. So that's what I try to do in my music. Because I go through issues, and it just helps, to feel somebody relate to that. So I want to do the same with my music. I only want a girl, sorry you let me. Say I can take you higher, baby, I'll fulfill your dreams. I just want to put you, baby, right here on my team. I can take you higher, baby, only if you let me.
I talked with Hollywood Holt months ago for the release of his mixtape, and he was kind of saying the same thing. He was talking about how there's so much padded, kind of like party rap out there, and the reason people listen to music is to get to know you, and I think that that's something that people really can take away from The Otherside. So
I'm glad that your purpose was fulfilled, so that's good. Thank you for letting me know that.
Absolutely. Now, you've received a lot of attention for this, not just online, not just on Twitter from fans, but, getting write-ups in Herb, getting some airtime on NBC. How has that been?
Oh man, that's been crazy. That's just like really adding on to the experience. My first thing is to allow people to enjoy the music, and then for me to have platforms where I can really explain it and people can really get a full understanding of where the music comes from. Like that's just a blessing in itself. So that was also a good feeling. Yeah.
Also listening to the mixtape, there's a lot of talk kind of about the music industry, the record industry, the climate of things right now. With the way that things are at the moment, people downloading music, do you really feel like it's worked against you, or do you feel like in a way it's kind of worked in your favor?
Right now I'm not necessarily trying to sell records. Everything that I've given out is for free, so that aspect of the game really doesn't affect me at this stage. I'm sure it will, the more successful I become with music, but right now, it's cool. I just really want people to get a chance to download something for free that's good and, base their view on music off of that. So, I mean, like, everybody has put out some form of free project now, so I guess that's changed the industry a lot. When you see Kanye releasing free records and T.I. putting out mixtapes and stuff like that. But as far as I'm concerned, it really hasn't had a direct effect on me yet.
But I think it does kind of put your music in the hands of a larger audience than if it was just, another CD on the shelf.
So I guess if it does have an effect, it's a positive effect because it allows people to gain a fan base before they really get in touch with the labels. You got guys like Wiz Khalifa who were able to do tours and sell out before they even got signed. And that's a real good thing. That brings fans back into the music versus people being signed off of potential. You really have to prove that people like you, and so that's a cool aspect of it.
Yeah, I don't think there were like unsigned up-and-coming Chicago hip-hop MCs on an NBC like 10 years ago,
Yeah, and that was a big step for rap in itself, so that was fun.
How do you see your role versus, say, Kids in the Hall or BBU or any other MC in the city? Like, what do you bring to the scene?
Those guys, those guys are legends. They've been doing it. They've been really established. I'm just, young and up and coming right now, so I'm trying to establish my position. I wouldn't even feel right comparing myself to guys like that, but it's just, they work hard. They make good music. Their sound is a little bit more hip hop in my mind. It's a little bit more mainstream, but that's about it. We had two totally different stages, and I'm really trying to have some of the longevity that they were able to have, so I look up to those guys.
And now, talking about your sound as well, obviously you have Imogen Heap samples and kind of music based on Red Hot Chili Pepper hooks. Is that kind of music that you are also tuned into? Are you listening to kind of indie or alternative rock or just kind of a broad spectrum?
I mean, definitely, I feel like music just goes so much more behind rap vocals, and so a lot of times, I can listen to Red Hot Chili Pepper song, for example, or Imogen Heap, and get a totally different feel that was not put in the rap music that I would want to add into it, so that's why I choose to sample those things, because it really adds a different vibe to the music, gives the listener a different experience than what they would expect from a normal rap record.
This project, Otherside, it just dropped kind of in the middle of December. There's obviously a long road ahead. What do you got planned with this record and outside of this record, just your own plans for 2011?
I mean, I just want to continue and push the record, continue and let people hear it. I'm just really trying to build my fan base right now. So that's really what it's here for, just to allow people to continue to listen and potentially become fans of Rockie Fresh. And I mean, of course I want to do a lot more shows throughout, the country, but it's really just building my fan base and just allowing people to enjoy what I bring to the table.
Well, Rockie, man, I'm super proud of everything you got going on. I've just gotten to start to get to know you, but really, I love the music, I love what you have happening, and really keep doing it for Chicago. I think that's fantastic, man.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate you having this interview with me. I also noticed that you hold me down on Twitter, too, so I greatly appreciate that. This is more than a pleasure for me. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, man.
When I said it, then I meant it, because stunting ain't for all. If you ain't got it, then don't spend it, and don't fake it till you